Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chimoli Alpha Lawrence, and this is our team of debaters from St. Joseph's Senior Secondary School, Naggalama. To be the first speaker, to my left is Kakai Linda, who is going to be our second speaker, Namoli Daniela, who is going to be our third speaker, and Mukinda Nimrod Johannes, our fourth speaker.
Hello viewers, welcome to High School Crossfire Debates. This is Airforce Army Secondary School. I'm Nakazoto Christian, the first speaker. This is Nachibu Raymond, the second speaker, and also Ayo Anagladys, the third speaker, with Yaruhanga Amos, our fourth speaker.
Today we have the privilege of debating with Airforce Senior Secondary School Entebbe. Under the resolution, this house puts the blame on ignorance of the law for the high rates of gun violence and not poor working conditions and poor standards of living. We expect the best, and we expect to present nothing but the best. Thank you.
Our expectation, as it has always been, it's a win, and we have concluded that indeed we shall win this debate according to the research and everything that we have been carrying out. Thank you very much.
House rules. Each speaker has 5 minutes. The first and last minutes are protected. The judge will ring a bell to signal the protected time. The bell will ring continuously after 5 minutes.
Resolved. This House puts the blame on people's ignorance of the law for the high rates of gun violence and not the poor standards of living and poor working conditions. Julie Alpha Lawrence, St. Joseph's Secondary School, Naggalama, Team Affirmative. Ladies and gentlemen, according to Amnesty International, the gun violence refers to the unlawful use of guns to hurt or kill somebody. And according to the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary of English Language, 11th edition, ignorance refers to the lack of knowledge or information about something. Violence refers to a violent behavior that is intended to kill or hurt somebody. Standard refers to a level of quality, especially one that people think is acceptable. A law refers to the whole system of rules that everyone in a society or country must obey. As Team Affirmative, our house is Amnesty International, and among the goals of Amnesty International is to end extrajudicial executions and promote freedom and peace in the world. Our parameter is East Africa in reference to the world. Our strategy is to appeal to the government to promote sensitization to the people about the law. Ladies and gentlemen, our work plan is to make efforts through Amnesty International to encourage the government to improve or raise the requirements for recruitment in the security forces, including the private security firms. According to the Daily Monitor of 19th May 2023, shootings in the capital in Uganda and elsewhere claim 7 lives within 14 days, an average of a gunshot victim every 48 hours. You can imagine, dear ladies and gentlemen, every 48 hours we have a gunshot victim. Is that where I want to be? No. And with the shooting of Minister for Labour, Charles Engola, by Wilson Sabiti, his bodyguard, on 2nd May 2023. On May 6th, Rebecca Masika was shot dead in Kagadi by a police officer. Rebecca Masika was shot dead by a police officer. Matthias Muhozi, a Blue Water Services private security guard, shot Christian Itagashika following an exchange of words in February. While these people were conversing with each other, just after a few exchange of words that brought about a disagreement, Matthias Muhozi shot Christian Itagashika. On 12th May, the shooting of Utami Bandali in his office by Ivan Wawire at Raju Chamber Offices, Parliamentary Avenue. Rogers Atuhaire, who shot himself in Nakasero of SGA, a security company. We also had Joy Chebet in Moroto of Edoi Primary School, who was killed by armed robbers and her husband was left injured. You can imagine, the wife was killed and the husband was left injured, moreover from a primary school. John Okudi from Sarasin Uganda Limited was shot by his colleague. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the gun violence can even occur between these people who work together, like John Okudi, who was shot by his colleague, Moses Okello, after a disagreement. So as Team Affirmative, we realized that gun violence is the cause. We realized that ignorance of the law is the cause of gun violence. For example, the child rebels. These children are taken when they are young. A child is one who is below the age of 18 years. That is according to the Ugandan constitution. One who is below the age of 18 years being taken as a child rebel. These people they don't know anything about the law. And if they do, it is very little. That's why they do all this. And we also had the Kasese raids where young children in school were abducted by the rebels, and the children are recruited, yet ignorant and incapable of understanding the law. At such a young age, these children are not able to interpret the law very well. That's why they're even taken to work. This was according to the Daily Monitor of 26th June 2023. Remain Chimelfa Lawrence from Team Affirmative. Thank you.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse for breaking it. The panel of judges, the two antagonistic sides, plus the entire house at large. Good afternoon. My name is Naggalama Christian from Airforce Army Secondary School, and we are here to negate the resolution which states that this house puts the blame on people's ignorance of the law for high rates of gun violence and on the poor standards of living and poor working conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, the affirmers are coming here telling us that they're going to sensitize people about gun laws. How sure are they that people don't know about these things? How sure are they? And how are they going to sensitize these people, ladies and gentlemen? They didn't tell us how they're going to sensitize these people. Ladies and gentlemen, they're coming here with their evidence without a source. How sure are we that those things are happening? Isn't it just propaganda or it's real things? Let them come here with evidence and say things that we understand. Ladies and gentlemen, we all see that there are organizations which have been trying to make people aware of the law. Mwaso Legal Awareness Watch, Human Rights Watch, the likes of UNICEF, UNESCO, United Nations Development Program, to mention but a few. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Affirmative is saying that these people are not doing their work. They are doing their work, ladies and gentlemen. It is the root cause that we need to address to fight the high rates of gun violence in this world. Ladies and gentlemen, we say, from an article on dailymail.co.uk by Natalie Rahel, researchers at Northeastern University found that wealth gaps, distrust of institutions, poverty, and how much a government spends on the good of a neighborhood are all linked to its gun violence rates. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all accounted to poor standards of living and poor working conditions. Our body is the United Nations Development Program, setting up parameters in the countries in the United Nations, and our source of funds is the voluntary contribution from United Nations member states, multilateral organizations, private sector, and other sources. Ladies and gentlemen, we are choosing the United Nations Development Program because it covers a wide range of countries. Let us know that gun violence, it's not only in East Africa, ladies and gentlemen. It is all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, our plan is to address poverty and social inequality through creation of job training programs and vocational courses to enhance employment opportunities for individuals in high-risk areas in the first year. In the second year, we're going to improve access to affordable living, housing, healthcare, and social inequalities. We shall then advocate for stricter gun laws and even including by background checks, licensing, and all of that is going to be done in a period of 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, it is so immediate that we have to act upon this, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm to continue, the advantage of our plan is that it addresses the underlying factors contributing to gun violence through improving people's standards of living and working conditions, hence solving the problem of poverty, which hinders people from getting education, which hinders people, which is keeping people ignorant, and also making them unsafe, ladies and gentlemen. High rates of gun violence are caused by poor standards of living and poor working conditions due to the socio-economic factors, the inequality and social unrest, limited access to resources and opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that poverty causes lack of education. How are they going to know? How are they going to even sensitize when people are poor? Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of inequality and social unrest, from imperial.ac.uk, the top 1% own more wealth than the bottom 92%, and the 50 wealthy Americans own more wealth than the bottom half of the American society of 165 million people. That is America, one of the countries in the United Nations. They are considered to be rich, but look at what is happening to them. What about Africa, where 90% of the people in Africa live in informal housing and often lack basic needs such as sanitation, clean water, and food security? That's from broganproject.org. Ladies and gentlemen, we see that from a study conducted by Kim Daniel in the journal of PLOS. He said that there was 25% reduction of gun violence when they increased the social mobility. Ladies and gentlemen, let's know that ignorance of the law is no excuse for breaking it. I remain Naggalama Christian, Team Negative. Thank you.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.